So, Chris, I'm going to kick it over to you first, and let's go ahead. We'll do Loudoun County Schools after, but Mr. Mayor Dick Tater out of Colorado, man. Yeah, you like that, didn't you? You liked that play, didn't you? I knew you would.
This Mayor Dick coming out of your mouth is funny.
I'm shaking my head. It's not even Freaky Friday. I'm shaking my head,
Oh,
Chris.
Kathy, Mayor Dick coming out of JP's mouth, no big deal. Calm down.
Absolutely.
Oh, my gosh. I just set him up for that. Okay.
So I'm going to kick it to you first, Chris. You know, man, what do you think about Mr. Dictator Day Mayor in Colorado saying
is it not a female mayor?
No, it's a male.
It's a male? Okay. Yeah. For some reason, I thought it was a female mayor.
Wanting to ban.
Hence the first name.
Wanting to ban the Star Spangled Banner, dude. The singing.
No, the Pledge of Allegiance.
Or Pledge of Allegiance. That's right, Pledge of Allegiance, not Star Spangled Banner.
Sounds like they're selling the really good weed in Colorado now, which is legal,
yes.
which I could go for.
Yeah, you can smoke pot at a meeting, but you can't say the Pledge of Allegiance. What?
Well, come on. We've all done it. Can you really get past the first two lines after you hit a good Maui Wowie? I don't think I could.
Oh, my gosh, no. I'm sorry. I'm not part of that discussion. I'm anti-marijuana.
Again, back on topic.
You were never young. That's right.
Oh.
Hey, Sullivan, back on topic. So,
yeah.
I mean.
No, it's ridiculous. It just, you know what? Again, where you're condemning the Pledge of Allegiance, some countries you would be put to death if you tried to pull that kind of stuff. So, again, maybe try to show a little respect to an idea greater than you are, sir.
Isn't that something? Wow, what a concept. I think that concept was burned along with their marijuana when this new generation can't figure out what they're doing.
A couple of the members of the council, I think it was at least two members of the council, went ahead and stood and said the Pledge of Allegiance anyway, which I would have done. I would have quietly said my prayer. I would have stood up, said the Pledge of Allegiance, don't care if I'm mic'd or not. And the mayor like freaked out about it. Again, it goes back to kind of like what JP was saying about, you know, if you're Team USA, if you're part of a soccer team, if you're part of the Olympics team, whatever, if you're representing the USA, the flag represents all of us. The good, the bad, the ugly, the far right, the far left, the in-between, the I don't cares. The flag represents our country and everything that has to do with America. And the great thing is we get to be diverse in America, and that's awesome. So why would you say that it represents the split and the division? No, it doesn't. I'm going to go back to what JP said. If you're representing Team USA, that flag, our flag stands for freedom, first of all, and that's all of us. That includes no matter how you feel about any topic, that flag represents you. So
here's my question for the mayor.
Why are we so angry about it?
Here's my question for the mayor, and I would ask the mayor this very sincerely, Your Honor. One simple question, and I am hearing your opinion about the Pledge of Allegiance, but this one question to you, sir: how many relatives of yours served in the armed forces defending the ideal of that flag? Yeah. And if anything, aren't you just tarnishing their legacy and their devotion?
Yep.
Again, to an idea greater than any of us.
Yes. It transcends you. It's not just you, the individual. This is a collective. This is the United States of America, which includes all of us individuals, all of our individuality, all of our, unique traits. And that's all what makes America great.
Well, and let's lay the platform, right? So the mayor supposedly had received death threats and violence from anonymous people about doing the Pledge of Allegiance at their meeting.
Wait, isn't it a town of like 500, 600 people?
Town.
I mean, we're talking.
Wait, where's this town?
Silverton.
Somerton. I thought it was Somerton.
Silverton or
Let me look it up real quick. But anyways, point is that
I lived there for a year. That's why I'm asking. So
yeah.
Very small population.
So what happens is that the council had already voted amongst themselves they're going to do the pledge, and that the mayor was standing alone by himself, and the room erupts, and they just start doing the pledge, and of course the mayor loses his mind. It's a weak mayor system in Colorado under Article 31 of their Constitution. The mayor is a weak system, and really the council and the community runs the community. And that's not what the community wants. And in this small town, it has created such a rift on what he has done. It's just been unbelievable. And to think that this is going on in more places than just this town in Colorado is something unbelievable. And so, again, one state, one mind, and create a welfare state economically. What's that sound to you guys?
Sounds like Havana to me.
This is just, again, I just go back to, this is just craziness. It's, you know, the flag, I'm going to say it again, and I know I'm being redundant. The flag represents all of us. It represents
Silverton.
Freedom. It is Silverton. That's what I thought.
Silverton, Colorado.
I mean, what's the population? Can you find that?
I don't know.
But I mean, it's tiny.
Go to your go-go machine.
I just, you know, it's one of those things that it represents we the people. Why does it have to? Why are you making it into this ugly thing? Why are you wanting to burn it? You know, and you're right. I'm going back to the burning thing. Somebody in security, they're not going to let you light a torch something on a Olympic stage.
Well, they might.
Olympic platform.
They might.
By the way, as of 2019, 534.
Okay, see, yeah, so probably maybe somewhere between 550 and 575, or maybe 600 right now. And again, it doesn't matter, small town, or they could be 500,000. I don't care. Again, why not? Why take it out on the flag? Why are we doing this over and over and over? And we've got people who are just sitting there letting it happen.
Well, what's funny is that pledge and our Star Spangled Banner, which people are trying to get rid of as well.
Oh, yeah. They want a new song for that.
Is the beacon of what has given them their platform.
Yes. Oh, the irony.
And so here's what's funny. Think if we become a one-party system and that one party gets overthrown and it goes the other direction. Think about that. Because as you're trying to overthrow our current form of government, that will come back to bite you at some point. Yeah. Because all you liberal idiots want your guns being taken away. So all of us conservatives will just take over the country. So think through this. You're not thinking. So, all right.
Let me ask you both something. I'm going to do a two-parter here, and I'll make this very quick. Now, in about 2 months from now, we're going to celebrate a very dark 20-year anniversary of a moment in our, 9/11.
Yep.
Right.
Now, if God forbid tomorrow we had a repeat incident, how fast would this mayor be wearing the American flag? You name it, he'll be wearing it,
Yeah, in a heartbeat.
And anybody who wants to besmirch, the idea. And by the way, recently, of all people, President Putin of Russia, who used to be a former member of the KGB, actually said he feels the United States is heading the ways of the old Soviet Union and how things are being done here. So when you have a former member of the KGB and the president of the Russian Federation saying you're heading towards the Soviet Union level, you may want to re-examine yourself, because I don't feel like sitting, 10 hours in line waiting for a roll of cotton now.
Well, and 2 potatoes to get you through the month.
And hey, watch the potato crap.
That's what I'm saying. It's a famine. Oh, anyways.
Easy over there. Calm down.
Easy. So, is it louder in Laudoun than anywhere else? And I'm talking about Laudoun County School Board. They had 259 people sign up before the meeting to speak at the meeting. Discussion point, again, which just blows me away. Discussion point, transgender athletes, transgender bathrooms. I remember a couple of years ago when Senator Patrick had to deal with the bathroom question, and Loudoun County, well, I was wanting to make it a lot longer ago. Loudoun County is now trying to bring this up, that there should be special bathroom privileges, and its proposal. Let me get my proposals right here.
And actually, we've got a video clip if we have time of that meeting.
80-40. Okay, so let's go ahead and throw that up real quick, Nathaniel, if you can get to that. It's proposal 80-40 is what it is. And it's, again, in regards to transgender athletes. It's in regards to the bathroom situation at school. It's in regards to transgender rights. I didn't know, but we needed to create a subset of rights for 0.4% of the American people. I thought all rights were across the board.
Go up to that first
So
one.
we're going to play this clip, Chris. I know you can't see this, but We're going to play this clip. If we can get sound on it, we may have to replay it. So as Nathaniel's working that out, all right, here we go.
Gotcha.
We want to go back to the beginning, Nathaniel, if we could. Because something got all these people fired up.
Disgusted by your bigotry and your depravity.
Now, this is Virginia State Senator Dick Black, former senator, speaking out against critical race theory in the board meeting, and the crowd could not stay silent. So I think there's one more. Let's play the other one.
There is standing room only there.
Again, 259 people stood up to speak. Now, what they're booing about is a mother gets up, and so the first half dozen speakers were in support of policy proposal 8040. But fireworks erupted when the seventh, who identified herself as the mother of a transgender Laudoun student, was booed after saying hate was dripping from the followers of Jesus in this room. A swipe at Christian parents in the district who have argued that transgender discussions should be held at home and not in public schools. And so let's discuss that, which I don't know that that's a bad argument at all, that transgenderism should be something that's discussed in home and not in the school system.
Well,
thoughts?
Again, I go back to any kind of sexuality. I didn't want my kids learning about it at school. Those are conversations that I had with them at home, because that's just part of my responsibility. Just, about just like teaching them to wash their hands, which I guess nobody did before the pandemic. Those are things that as a parent, you should be able to talk to your child about sexual differences and sexual preferences and sexuality, period. I don't want my 5-year-old or my 7-year-old going to school and being taught by a teacher about things that are sexual in nature, right?
So, Chris, what about you, brother?
No, I agree. Look, we have to be accepting of all people. I totally believe that. But I don't want my kid to be taught about a social issue by a teacher who may have an agenda. That is the job for the parents.
Yeah,
we can't keep relying on every institution to raise our kids. That's got to be our job. Look, the way the education system is now, there's a quota of education, how we have to teach kids. And we are really robbing kids of a proper education if we're trying to shape a narrative rather than fact. And it goes back to the whole journalism thing I was saying earlier, that, if the kid has questions, I don't think it's wrong to ask questions. But those questions should be left for at home.
Yes.
Now, if they want to talk amongst their peers at school, I got no problem with that. But it's not the job of the educators to educate, my kid on, being gay, straight, or trans. It's just not. But I would also say to my kid, you have to be accepting of everybody. And, you go back to, we shouldn't have people what was the quote? Dripping Jesus, going against trans, something like that.
Right.
I would hark back to, I'm willing to bet there are trans people who are devout Christians and who would find that statement rather offensive.
Well, then,
being trans doesn't dictate.
Yeah, you're saying, and this, and I agree with this. If this is what you're saying, be the example that teaches your children to be accepting of people from different socioeconomic backgrounds, different races, different religious preferences, different whatever your gig is. Somebody really likes cats versus somebody who really likes dogs. You know what? Not my job to pass judgment. I think that is a job as parents. But it's the teacher's job, and gosh, teachers are so, God bless teachers. They've got so much on their plate as is, and so now you're asking teachers to push social issues. That's not their job. Teachers are there to teach our kids what they need to know so they can learn to think for themselves, so they can have the intelligence, so they can read, so they can write, so they can get out and have a job and be a producing, tax-paying member of society. It's not our job. It's not a teacher's
Kathy,
job
you're a
to teach
teacher. I want to ask
social
you this
issues.
question.
Yeah.
would you ever think, let's say if I had my son in one of your classes or my daughter, and they came to you and they said, what's it mean to be transsexual?
I would say
How would you respond?
I would say this is absolutely something you need to talk to your parents about. This is an issue where it's very inappropriate for me to talk to you about it. And there were times when I had some of my, because I taught special education and drill team, and I had some of my drill team girls who came up and asked me some questions, and I thought, and it was about, hey, situations with their boyfriend. And I said, hey, I would always find out, first of all, are you safe? Has anybody forced you to do anything that you don't want to do? And then I would say, we either need to get you to talk to a counselor or to your parents. If you feel more comfortable me being part of that conversation, I'm willing to do that. But we need to talk to a counselor or your parent, because I'm not the expert. I'm not the right person to give you advice on that.
All right, let's jump to the board real quick. Coach Quigley put out there, Louisiana governor just vetoed a bill that would have stopped transgenders from playing women's sports in Louisiana. Leilani, this country needs to get back to being a united country. We are all American. Going through Ann Guzman, they should ask the kids in Hong Kong what our flag meant to them as they were flying it as they protested communism. Amen, Ann.
Wow.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Sharon goes on to say, liberal idiots, as JP calls you, throw in all your ammo. Please, having trouble finding it. Sharon says at home, definitely. That's where we're having the discussion about where you should be discussing transgenderism. Coach Quigley, too many parents are unwilling to teach their own children or own child and pass that responsibility on to teachers. And then Leilani, this is the problem. My fifth grader had heard about all of this at school. They talk about labels. We have told her your label is American.
Yes.
Kids bring this into the schools. I also remind her of the teachings from the Bible. And that's where I want to go to with that, right? Is that the problem here is that our kids aren't hearing the labels at home. They're not hearing the labels on the playground at the park. They're hearing it in the schools.
While during those 8 hours that they're in school, that you assume your child is going to be safe physically from harm, but also safe from hearing some kind of theory that's the complete opposite of what your family believes in. Coach Quigley, and thank you for saying this, he said he had students with similar questions during health class, and he got the school counselor involved. And especially because Coach taught older kids like me. When you've got somebody who's 16, 17 coming to you with a very serious question about sexuality, I didn't go to school to learn how to answer those questions. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. I'm a teacher, which is a very different role, a very important role, crucial role, but it's different. So yeah, Coach, I'm glad that I was doing the right thing, because if you were doing it, then that's the right thing.
So I got to wrap this up and get us out of here.
Yeah, and you're right.
But again, I go back to the fact that sure, have your voice heard, peaceably assemble.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, let common sense rule. I can't imagine if I was a teacher in Loudoun County, I would not be able to use pronouns to keep up with you. I just couldn't. I mean, it's difficult anyways, as it is. You're a they and you're a them, and instead of who you are. And it's like, I would have to quit and go find another teaching job.
Well, and thank goodness that's why I'm use the kid's name, first of all. If you're a teacher, that's, you should call your students by their name. And I used to, and I bet you can't do this anymore. I don't know. I taught from 91 to 98, and I used to call my students hun, sweetie, sweetheart. I had nicknames for a lot of my students, like I did my kids and like I do for my pets. I wonder if I could have nowadays, if I were a teacher, and if there's a current teacher on the feed, I'd love to know, can you say hun or sweetheart or anything? Probably
no,
not.
You're done.
I was also
a
big hugger.
That without a lawyer getting involved.
I was also a big hugger. You can't do any of that anymore.
So,
I don't know.
To take us out with this quote, and so I know Nathaniel's getting ready to start the music. Brett Favre says, regardless, Favre says that Wolf shouldn't be allowed to compete. And he says, I wouldn't have her participate in my Olympics. Go participate for somebody else. To say that is such a slap in our country's face. I can't believe this person can be allowed to participate for our country.
Again, because
Can I say one thing real fast?
Everything.
10,000 talented people that would love to take that person's place.
Absolutely. Chris, what was your final words, brother?
We're a plural society. We are a plural idealistic society. We have to welcome all the ideas.
There we go. All right, man. Thanks to the crew. Hey,
how fun. fun.
Don't forget, I know, Tommy, Coach Quigley's like Chris equals sports.
I know.
We'll have to hit
I could be
sports.
serious for once.
We have to. Well, next week let's hit sports there, O'Sullivan. Let's get you back on again and let's talk.
Yeah, we'll
sports.
do this. Now that I got a home studio, we could do it more regularly.
Love
Perfect.
it.
Sounds
Love
good to
it,
me.
Love it and
so,
love
Coach
it.
Quigley, we will sports out next week, I promise, because there's
Go
tons to
Yankees.
talk about. Go Yankees, whatever.
You just had to
Dodger
throw that in
blue.
with the music
Dodger
playing.
blue.
Come on.
Man,
How are the Rangers doing? Have they relocated to Las Vegas yet?
all I can say is there, O'Sullivan, don't go do extreme sports naked. We don't want to see your wiener.
Go. Okay, yeah, was
Like
it last
Eric's
Friday's
dick.
show? Yeah, Chris, you got to go back a couple episodes to see
All
what
right.
he's talking about.
We're out of here. O'Sullivan, thanks for
Love
joining us.
y'all.
We love you,
Thank
brother.
Chris.
Love you guys.
Have a
All right,
blessed
crew, take care.
day.
We'll see you Friday from the
Yes.
Renaissance.
Yeah, from the
Hotel.
Renaissance Hotel, Miss Texas competition. We will be there live. Super excited.
All
Yeah.
right. Talk to you
love
then.
y'all.
Hasta luego.